Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Zohran Mamdani strikes again, showcasing the hypocrisy of the left. Folks, normal everyday people, I want to say normal everyday people, there's a couple things we ask for, a couple reasonable things that we would like. Voter ID. If you want to vote, you want to participate in elections, locally, nationwide, prove that you're a U.S. citizen. Bring your ID with you. Bring your ID confirming that you are a citizen, and you can vote. Not too hard. Border security. Border security. Let's just make sure we're not letting any willy-nilly come into the country. Right? You get vetted. We run down your background. We don't just let criminals come in here, pillage from the country, and then leave. We don't want that. We don't want criminals to come in here, commit crime, get caught committing crime, and then being able to stay in the country they're not from and continue to commit crime. We don't want that. A voter ID and border security. Two simple asks, if you ask me. Now, New York will be laying out this government-run grocery store in Mamdani's New York City. And they're implementing two things that, for some strange reason, in broad elections, Democrats are against, and that's ID and that's security. Interesting. Let's get into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Quote, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, sort of a Liberty Card-esque thing. This is Mamdani talking about who's going to be allowed in to these grocery stores. Let's take a listen.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, Jeannie Pack, to add some additional details.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that, and so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
A Liberty Card-esque. It sounds like an ID. Like I know you can't say ID because then it's just way too blatant what's going. But it sure sounds like an ID. New Yorkers will have to show an ID to get into Mamdani's grocery stores. His DSA opposes voter ID. The city plans to have a library card-esque ID in order to manage who is buying from the stores. New York City's Zohran Mamdani's city-run grocery stores will require an ID in order for New Yorkers to obtain discounted prices on staple goods that Mamdani has promised will be 30% lower than market rate. During a press conference last Monday, the mayor said that the staple items at the store will be below typical retail prices and will include such items as milk, cheese, and bread. However, Mamdani's Economic Development Corporation interim chief Jeannie Pack said the stores will be secured so as to not risk people reselling the cheap goods. Mamdani said the program was not for people to make a quick buck through reselling. Pack then added that the city plans to have a library card-esque ID in order to manage who is buying from the stores. Mamdani's DSA and Democrat elected leaders at large have opposed voter ID or even ensuring citizenship before voting. A majority of Americans support voter ID and citizenship-only voting with verification. The DSA endorsed DSA member Mamdani ahead of his election and claims, quote, our candidates for office stand firm against racist voter ID laws and secret poll taxes like the Save America Act. Mamdani was mocked online for the grocery store ID plan. Similarly, the mayor was slammed after he asked people to show 5 forms of identification in order for them to shovel snow when the Big Apple was hit with a large storm earlier this year. Mamdani has claimed that the city-owned grocery stores will not be competing with bodegas because of the limited amount of goods they will have. Others in the DSA have said that if bodegas or other grocery stores go under due to the competition of the socialist markets, perhaps they should not have been in business in the first place. The socialist mayor has vowed to see the at least $70 million project through, despite critics pointing out that more money could go to already established food programs in New York, such as Meals on Wheels, food banks, or other programs. So there you have it. Mamdani demanding grocery ID to shop in these grocery stores. She said that these are going to be secured stores. Well, what do you mean secured stores? You mean you're going to be checking ID before people come in and leave? So you're going to make sure that people are allowed. You're going to make sure that they're New York citizens, that they're New Yorkers. You're not just going to let people from New Jersey come take all your food and leave, right? No, you're not going to allow it. You're not going to allow people from New Hampshire just to come in there, take all the food and leave. Oh, they need to prove that they're. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Here's David Sachs on Mamdani's government grocery run stores.
This plays. This is going to play in elections. Free stuff plays in an election, whether it's a bus or discounts.
It may play on, look, when people first go to these stores and they first open and the shelves are full, yeah, the people will be like delighted. And then over time, what's going to happen is that the store shelves will be empty and it's going to be incompetently run. And there's going to be a lot of complaints about it. And then all the free market stores are going to have to compete with this. And then they may get put out of business. And so.
And then you have no choice. You have to go to the state-sponsored one. And then they raise the price.
And it is ironic that they're going to be checking ID to make sure people aren't coming over from Jersey. But if you want to come over illegally from any country in the world, well, that's just fine.
They found a use for ID. By the way, after you get your groceries, you have to hide your ID to go vote. You don't shred your ID when you go vote.
The point prior to that that's a clear cut point. The point prior to that was a very good point. They have these grocery stores right now with lower prices that are in turn going to put out the competition. Then once the competition is all gone, now you have no choice but to go to the city-owned grocery stores. And now that everybody's going to be shopping at the city-owned grocery stores, now they raise the prices probably past to what the previous competition prices already were. That's some sick sleight of hand, if you ask me. That is some sick sleight of hand, if you ask me. ID to vote, Jim Crow. ID to buy groceries, democratic socialism. Communists want to require an ID to buy food, but not to vote. We may marvel at the inconsistency, but it makes perfect sense in their bubble. It is control. They gain control with no voter IDs and enforce control by restricting food. Turns out that they're going to impose an ID card system, library card-esque, for the government grocery stores in New York. Just like when I had to use my national ID to buy food in Venezuela, and they told me what I could buy and how much. Thank you, Supreme Leader Mamdani. The SAVE Act, but for grocery stores. Yeah, it's the Save on Grocery Store Act. Borders aren't real, according to Mamdani, but you can't buy in his commie stores if you're not from New York. Really? Not even if I'm a neighbor. I'm a neighbor over here in New Jersey. I can't just as a neighbor respect thy neighbor, love thy neighbor, right? Put a jacket over thy neighbor. Come on, Mamdani. Come on. So you can't just show up and say you live there? Huh. It is interesting. ID to buy groceries, but not ID to vote. Lying hypocrites. Yeah. So New Yorkers will need an ID to shop at the government-run grocery stores, but no ID, because that's racist. So it's not Jim Crow 2.0 to make people show government ID to buy food. I'm starving. I can't afford food. Please. But are you from here? No, but can't you see I weigh 75 pounds? I'm 6'5". I weigh 75 pounds. I need food. Ooh, yeah. Nah. New York is rolling out government-owned grocery stores that will sell food at 30% below retail. But to try and keep people from getting the system, they want to make sure that this benefit only people who live in New York City. No suburbities welcome. So they're going to institute a form of checking to make sure you're a New York City resident. On one hand, I guess this is good because you can now see what market will remain for the capitalist grocery stores. All the married women and black people will have to shop at the capitalist grocery stores. It's going to be harder to buy eggs than to vote. Damn. Now, here's the thing. Do I really believe that they're going to be checking IDs for everybody? No. No. There are a lot of illegal immigrants over there in New York City. A lot of them. And a lot of them voted for this guy. A lot of them. So are they going to turn those people away when they show up at the door? No, because that would hurt their voting bloc. And the last thing people like Mamdani want is to hurt their voting bloc. They want to keep that for the midterms, and they want to keep that going into the 2028 election. So do I really think that they're going to enforce these IDs? Probably not. But if they do, it would be a, are you white? Let me see your ID. Nice. Are you, where are you from? Oh, you're from, oh, okay. I mean, do you have an ID? Oh, you don't have an ID. Are you a U.S. citizen? Oh, you're not a U.S. citizen? Just going anyway. Just going anyway. It's gonna be wild. The only thing, do they do the Costco? Do they do the Costco where you need to scan your ID before you even start buying your food? Who knows? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, happy to subscribe to the channel. That means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.